Hi, this is Stefan Welker from Durovis Dive. Today I'm going to show you how to install a programming environment for Durovis Dive consisting of the Unity free engine and also the Java Android SDK to compile Unity apps for Android. We have had some messages in the forum where people had problems setting that up. This can be rather complicated because it involves more than one software, because you need to compile the apps for Android, and I'm going to show you how to do this today. So to start out, you need the Unity Unity 3D game engine. You can get it at unity3d.com. You can download it for Windows or for Mac OS. The process is rather the same for Mac OS and Windows. Right now I've come to the apartment of my mother-in-law because she has a new laptop, and I wanted to show you how to install everything on a really pristine new laptop, because it can be rather daunting if you've never done it before. So I'm going to download Unity 4.3.4 here. This is rather a big download, so I already did it before. You see it's 1 gigabyte. That would take a while. So I've downloaded it, and also I've installed it already. So while installing, you can choose to activate Unity with a free license. And afterwards you will need the Android ADT bundle. You can download it from www.android.com. It is the Android SDK. Here it says download the SDK ADT bundle for Windows. I'll agree to all that, and I have found there can be some problems with the 64-bit version. I assume that it's not quite cared for by Google as well as the 32-bit version. So I've had better experience with the 32-bit version. So that's what I'm going to use today, but you can try out for yourself with the 64-bit version. If you've got any problems, I suggest you would switch to the 32-bit version. For the end product, the APK, it doesn't make any difference. It's just the tools. So I would download the 32-bit version. That's also about the 400 megabyte download, so this will take a while also. That's why I did it before. So I'll show you in a minute what I've already downloaded. What you need also is the Java JDK by Oracle. I think that's called Java SE 7 or 6. For some things I have used 1.6, which might be a little more stable, but I think right now Java 7 works as well. So that would be Java 1.7. That's it. Be sure that you don't download the runtime environment. We need the JDK, the development kit. Java 1.7 JDK. It's called Java SE, whatever that means. And so what's up with the network here? Okay, there it is. That's the Java Platform JDK 7U51. That's what I used today to download it. And that would be the Windows x64 version. You can use that version. And you have to accept the license, and then we can do that. Okay, that's 125 megabytes download. I already did that also. So what you will need also to compile for Dive is the Durovis SDK. It's available at www.durovis.com. Go to developers, go to SDK. You can download the Dive Unity demo project, which is a complete project. And you can also download the Dive Unity plugin package, which can be imported in an existing project to make the project compatible with Dive. So now what we got is the JDK. Here I've got the version 6 and also the 7 version. I'll see if I already installed it. I'm not sure. It should be... no, it's not installed. So okay. So we gotta make sure to make this all run together. So what you also have to install is the ADT bundle, which we've downloaded. This is the Android development kit, where I said the 32-bit version might be a little more stable. You can open this as just a zip file, and you can go to C and extract that in the file, in the space of the drive, and then you have this. There's Eclipse inside, there's the SDK inside, and there's an SDK manager inside. So now what we need also is the JDK. I'll install this one. There you go. Okay, so usually I make sure that I don't install it to program files, since that contains a space which causes some problems for some things. I usually just put it in C directly, as most people do with development stuff. So that's usually a bit easier, so you have shorter paths also. So now it's extracting. Hope that works good. After that, we will try and see if the Java works together with the Android ADT bundle. And after that, we'll go to Unity. So it's installing. Okay, the JRE, I don't really care about it. It can install where it wants. So we're mainly concerned with the development kit. The JRE is just a runtime environment. Okay, so it says it's successfully installed. So now, if everything works right, normally you should be able to run Java. Yes, we can run Java. We can run Java version. Not very like this. It's 1.7. That's right, and it's the Java C says it's not working. I'm not sure. Maybe it's using the Java runtime environment here, but that actually it doesn't matter. So now we'll run the SDK manager of the ADT bundle, and this does not start right now. So normally what you can do to fix this, if it's normally the reason is that it didn't find Java. So you will get to system, get to extended system, whatever that's called in your language. Then there's the environment variables, and then you will put a new environment variable that says Java underscore home, and you put here the path where you installed Java. So that would be this here, and I will take this, put it here. So now that should be fine. So now we'll try again to run the SDK manager for Android, and it works. There it says what versions of Android are installed in the ADT bundle. You can install other versions. You can install the latest version or earlier versions. So now I just needed to check that this works. What you can also check now is if you've got an Android phone like this or like this here. This is a Galaxy Nexus phone which works fine with Windows as far as I remember. I don't know how good it works with Windows 8, but it should work. Makes a nice noise. Let's see. There it says the fingerprint of this computer is blah blah blah, and if you want to allow to control the USB debug from this computer, I want to do this. Maybe you will have to install another driver for your phone first in your PC to access the development function of your phone. Also, in the phone you'll have to make sure that USB debugging is enabled. Refer to your phone manual how to do that. That might be different on some phones. On some phones you gotta click stuff in the system tools to make this appear, but that's documented, so you can Google for that. So now what we got here, okay, so now the USB debugging is connected. And we can try it out with from the ADT. There's a tool there that's called Monitor. That's basically ADB logcat, where you can see the log output of the phone. So if you go to ADT bundle SDK tools, you will find a batch file that says Monitor. If you start that, there will be a window coming when Java decides it's ready. Yes, there it is, and it says Samsung Galaxy Online, and you can see the logcat messages. You can filter them for, I don't know, Dalvik something, I'm not sure. So there you can debug your phone, and now everything is working. So you can develop for Android because you'll have the phone is working with your computer, the Java development kit is working, the ADT development kit for Android is working, so now we can switch to Unity. Okay, so we don't need the monitor tool, we don't need any logs right now. So we'll start up Unity. What you'll need first is the project. Okay, there's no project yet, and we will try first with the downloaded Dive Unity demo project, which I've downloaded here. You open it up, it just contains a folder, and you drag that to documents or wherever you want to develop, and then you can start up Unity. No, hope that didn't make any problems. Okay, so now it should start up the project. Or actually it should start up the last project that you've developed, and I did try it out before that don't make too many mistakes. Let's see. Okay, starting up. So now I don't know what happens here, probably because I had it open before and now it decided it doesn't want me to open it again. Okay, so we'll start again. Okay, now it loaded the project. Naturally you can open the project with this here, open other, then you go to the place where you put your project in documents, select Dive Unity demo, select the folder, it will open up the folder. The first time it might scan the directories and puts all kinds of temp files everywhere but this has to be only done once. So now you'll see the project. Right now what is opened is the Unity scene Dive Unity demo. You can open that and you will see these blocks. You will see cameras, you will see a light, and you can explore here. You can see the player, you can see the dive camera, which is at 2 meters high, and you can see that the OpenDive sensor script is attached to the camera, and then you have two Unity cameras that will render the scenes side by side. And the OpenDive sensor will move the cameras since they're children of the dive camera object, and then you can see the scene in 3D with head tracking. So what you've got to do now is compile the scene. You got to make sure that the scenes that you have opened are in the build. You can use the add current switch to do that. So now this is already included, so we don't need it. So you have to switch to Android, go to player settings, give a new name to your project, my company, my game. So then you go to resolution and presentation. In the Dive Unity project, everything is set up for default, so it works, but you have to make sure for every project that you want to compile like this. So you'll have landscape left as the default orientation. You will have to make sure the other settings contains a string, the bundle identifier, and there you would also write my company dot my game. So there you go. I will delete all that. So there you go. You'll set a version number, version code. You will have to judge for yourself what you want to do there. So then if you want to publish to the Play Store, you'll have to supply a password for signing the app. So right now we're not going to do this, and we'll make an unsigned app that's in debug mode. You'll have to make sure that your phone is connected now. So now you can choose build and run and supply a name, for example, my game. Okay, so now we'll start compiling. So now one other thing I'd wanted to tell you, because I've already compiled once before, and then if you have never compiled before with the ADT bundle, Unity will say, okay, I don't know where Android ADT or Android SDK is, so you can it will tell you, give me the place where you've installed that. So what you can also do is go to what's happened now? Did it crash? Or I'm not sure. Maybe I'm too fast for Unity. I'm not sure. So I'll kill it for this time. Not sure what happened. So now I'll open it again. So now, okay, I'm going to go to Preferences of Unity, and there it says External Tools, and there you can insert where is the Android SDK, and you'll have to go to C drive, choose ADT bundle, choose SDK. That's enough. So if you choose that folder, Unity knows how to compile your project. So then you can choose build and run, and Unity should start up building. So now Unity compiles all the files necessary for the APK and puts them all in a compiled form and makes them and compresses everything according to the rules that you can set in the player settings. So now for the first time you do this takes a little longer because everything has to be converted to Android project files first. Afterwards it's much faster. So now Unity really stopped working. I don't know what's wrong here. I'll do it again. build settings, Android, player settings. It didn't accept my changes. My game, my company, my game. So now I will supply the bundle identifier, my company, my game. Okay, now you can build and run. So now it's building the scenes. Now it's already after the compile stage. And I guess it's looking for an Android phone very soon. Okay. So now it's compiling for Galaxy Nexus, or pushing the APK file to Galaxy Nexus. And then we will shortly see it working, I guess. No. So now it starts. There's a Unity free splash screen, the dive splash screen, and there you go. And you got head tracking with your Android app. So that was pretty easy. I hope it's clear what has to be done. I think it's pretty good to go this way and first make sure that the ADT apps work, for example the monitor tools. If you cannot get this to run, then you've got no chance to run it via to compile an app via Unity. So now what can also be done, you can make a new project, and we'll just make a new project, and we'll start out like this, and then we will import the Unity camera. So from downloads you will start the Dive Camera plugin. The version number will increase as we release new versions, but right now this is 1.6. Then you can import everything, and then we'll need to make a small, what's wrong here? I've never seen that. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Now we'll need some kind of a project. So I'll quickly add a plane and scale it up. And then we have the main camera. And right now I will make some cubes or something so that we can see something. And put this here. And put this here. Put this here. Put this here. Okay, now we have a very nice scene. Let's put a light there. Make sure you don't use too many polygons. The normal Android phone and the medium Android phone can render about 100,000 polygons per scene in 60 Hz. So you have to make sure not to use too many polygons or tris, and it's better only to use about 50,000, because also the scene has to be rendered twice if you use a side-by-side, if you make a side-by-side game. So now make a new game object and put your cameras below that. So we will duplicate this, and you can use the one camera, and you can set the viewport drag from 0 with width 0.5. That's the first camera, and the second camera would be start 0.5, and and the width is also 0.5. So now you would have two cameras side by side, and for the position we will reset the camera positions. So it is inside this game object. We will set them a little higher. So now we will make the one position of the camera to about 0.03 to the left. That's the 005 camera. That's also called the left camera. So naturally the other one must be the right camera. Okay. So now you'll have to 0.03. That's about the eye distance of a normal human. So it's about minus 0.03 to plus 0.03 is about 6 centimeters. So that's fine. It gives a nice 3D effects. You can try out different distances, and we will also provide something to change that on the fly. So now you'll have to set the open dive sensor script, which is in the dive settings, to the parent game object, so that because this has to rotate. So now that's finished, and you can you can now compile your scene. So scene 1, I'll call this, and you have to make sure the build setting is alright. So you'll have to add the current scene. You will set it to Android. We will make a new company, and you will make a new game. So now we will set the resolution and presentation to landscape left, and we will set the bundle identifier to new company.new game. So now that's fine. The publishing settings, we'll leave it at unsigned, this debug build, new game. So now pretty much we can build and run. We'll see if it works the first time. It's building the player, building the scene. Takes a while for the first time, but now it's pushing the content to my phone, and it should be available soon. So let's see if that works. Unity splash screen and my scene with head tracking, and you see the cubes. You have to make sure it looks very pretty, but this about shows how easy it is to get it to work. So now thanks very much for listening. I hope that gets some people going, because it's sometimes can be a little hard to set up all these Java things and also set up the environment variables. I'll post links to all the used files that I've used right now, and until then I might be making some more tutorials about how to make certain stuff with Dive, how to make certain setups for walking around, or making some kind of a vehicle that you can drive, and how to really set up the sensor so it behaves in the right way. Okay, thanks. Bye bye.